Hi, I'm Grant Ainsley. I'm from Edmonton, Alberta, and my main job is media training. I teach organizations how to deal with the news media. I also work on executive communication as well and deliver workshops for executives to hone their communication skills. Most of the work that I do is as a media trainer, and I use three pieces of technology. An iPhone 6 Plus when I do media training, because most of the work that I do, or at least half of the session, is on-camera interviews. And so, several years ago, I used to bring a professional cameraman with me, and it was great. But now technology has replaced that. And so the main piece I use is the iPhone 6 Plus. I need to put something into the headphone jack, and so some of the newer iPhones don't work as well for that for me. And I use a Rode microphone, which goes into that, a Rode Reporter microphone. The main piece that I've started using for the past several months is a DJI Osmo. It's a video stabilizer, also called a gimbal, and it works really well for me. So those are the three pieces I use: the phone and the DJI Osmo and a Rode Reporter mic. The reason that I use the Osmo, the video stabilizer, is that I used to use a tripod for the interviews that I did. But it was interesting, some people, when they get nervous, they kind of move when they do interviews, because we do them standing up. And so I found that sometimes people would almost be moved right out of the shot by the time they're on their second answer. The video stabilizer is great because I can follow them. If they move, then I follow them. And it's really professional as well. So any movement, or most of the movement that I have with my hand, it's nice and smooth. Edit in Final Cut Pro, and that is something that works really well for me. I know about this much of what I can do in Final Cut Pro, but it's enough for me to get by. I plan to learn more as time goes along. The other thing I use is I use a program called Wondershare. It's a video conversion software. I find everything that I shoot is in the iPhone MOV format, which is really big. The files typically are really large. The client doesn't need anything that size, and so I try to shrink them down to something like an MP4 to reduce the size before I upload them to Dropbox. I create a lot of content, do a lot of things for different clients, and I find I promote myself by using a lot of these different tools. Most of what I do, other than the odd occasion like graphic design, because I can't do graphic design, that's about the only thing that I'm going to contract out. Most of the stuff I can do. So simple video editing now I can do. Obviously, I write all my own material. I manage the back end of my website, so I post the blog and do updates on my website, different things like that. Add to my mailing list on MailChimp. And so a lot of these things really help where I don't have to wait for somebody else to do the work for me. It's very quick, very simple, nothing fancy. I mean, I'm not great at video, but at least I can get it turned around pretty quickly. The client gets a copy of all the interviews that are done, and so this creates a need for me to have programs like Dropbox or Vimeo, so I have accounts on websites like that. Some of the video I edit, not necessarily that video, but other video that I shoot for clients, and so I use Final Cut Pro for most of the work that I do in video editing. I'm on a number of different websites. I have a lot of subscriptions. MailChimp is something that I use because I write a weekly blog. People can, on my website, grantainsley.com, they can sign up to receive the blog once a week. And so they get added to the email list, and each Wednesday morning, everybody gets a copy of my blog by email. I use AppSumo as something that shares information for sharing the blog as well. So as time goes along, I find I'm collecting more and more of these online programs. And the cost starts to add up. However, I believe the more, if you use them, it's well worth it. Prezi is another program that I'm using. I got back to using Prezi now for my presentation software after a few years, and I'm just getting back into that now. So that's another online program. But as I say, if you use them, then typically it's money well spent.